Warning sign you're an INFJ. The rarest personality type stands for INFJ, which stands for introversion. One of the rarest of the 16 Myers Briggs Personality Types, and only accounts for about 2% of the world's population. There are people who have this type of personality, very unique features that help them stand out from the crowd. They can be incredibly mysterious and emotional. They are intelligent and are sometimes called consultants or advocates. Although we may think we know a lot about it, shame on us. This personality type is actually very misunderstood. So let's get to their main features. INFJ personality type and find out if you're one of them. Number 1. INFJs of different wavelength feel like outsiders because of these INFJs. It is the fact that most other people are on a different wavelength than they are. Their dominant function is intuition. They unconsciously notice patterns in everything. Most of these patterns are related to human's nature because of their secondary function, feeling, which draws them to others. Intuition is a person's ability to consciously understand something without knowing how or why they know it. Since intuition works subconsciously, it can be described as a kind of physical ability. However, INFJs often have a difficult time trying to explain this sixth sense to other people, which often leads them feeling isolated or purely misunderstood. Number 2. One things perfect often procrastinate people with this personality type often deal with a constant fear of failure. They strive for perfection and strive to surpass the normal capabilities of a regular individual. This means that INFJs procrastinate a lot due to their subconscious need to find absolute perfection in mostly everything. Even though realistically they can do all of these things they're afraid of without having tried so hard. With that said, INFJs have a hard time dealing with criticism because it really stands out in their minds, sometimes washing out the positive feedback they get. However, as they become more mature, they find it easier to release themselves from this need of perfection. They may allow themselves to make more mistakes or focus on their self-confidence to achieve remarkable results pertaining to their life goals. Number 3. Value beauty and quality. Beauty and quality are things that an INFJ strives to find in just about everything. They simply prefer to be surrounded by sophistication and beauty. They are especially drawn to high quality things such as fine food, nice clothes, and anything of good craftsmanship. And although their focus on sophisticated items goes against their spiritual nature, beauty is a very inspiring and calming force to them. Having said that, INFJs are typically minimalists. They would rather have a few nice things than a bunch of mediocre ones. Number 4. Exude warmth and charm. Most of us don't often sit next to a stranger and find ourselves telling them our biggest fears, dreams, and personal secrets. But INFJs are such charming people that it is not uncommon for a stranger to readily share such information with them. People with this personality type typically have an aura that makes others feel incredibly comfortable and at peace when they are around them. Just about everybody enjoys being in their company, and they are very good at putting people at ease. Not only are they comfortably trustworthy and charming individuals, but they are also very wonderful listeners who speak in understandable terms and meet others where they are. Number 5. Highly perspective of others. INFJs are able to read other individuals very well, and they are able to understand their emotional states and motivations in seconds. On the other hand, they themselves aren't as easy to understand, and that can be difficult when you're trying to understand someone as well as they understand you. INFJs are not only very good at reading other people's emotions and feelings, they also use their intuition to dig deep below the surface of another individual's mind. They find themselves intrigued with how other people's minds work and figuring out what makes them unique in their own way. They can often easily tell when somebody is lying to them, or even when someone is lying to themselves. Number 6. Observe other people's emotions. It is common for INFJs to observe other people's emotions and interpret them as their own feelings. For example, if somebody else around them is excited, they will often get excited as well. If someone is stressed or anxious, they may feel stressed or anxious too. Feeling other people's emotions, in addition to their own, can be overwhelming, but it also provides a better understanding for those feelings and the ability to heal and comfort others. INFJs can confidently tell other people that they are going to be okay. Number 7. Create deep emotional intimacy. Most INFJs can seem reserved or shy in the presence of people they don't know well. They are often perceived mysterious or merely private, but actually they are quite relational. It can just take a little bit of time for them to open up to the others and show their true selves. INFJs crave authentic connections and seek to trust people on a deeper level. And because of their ability to empathize and have meaningful conversations, they establish strong emotional bonds with the people they trust. Number 8. True introverted nature. Although INFJs are easy to socialize with, they are introverted individuals. They know how to effectively blend into social settings, but they may also feel totally at peace with a rather small circle of friends who are trustworthy and deserving of their love, like most introverts. INFJs usually get overwhelmed and exhausted in large social settings or crowds, even though they have an innate ability to thrive in these social settings. They also need their own individual alone time to relax and recharge. Number 9. Sensitive to conflict. Conflict tends to send INFJ personality types into a state of stress. They strive to create harmonious relationships with the people close to them, and the desire for those people to help maintain the harmony in the relationship. When a conflict arises, it can physically disrupt their seemingly constant optimistic nature. They will often have trouble sleeping or concentrating when they are thinking about a conflict that has to do with them or somebody they care about. It can even stress out their bodies. to point where they got muscle aches, headaches, stomach pains, or other unwanted bodily disturbances. Of course, this doesn't mean that people with this personality type seek to avoid all conflict, but over time, INFJs learn to set healthy boundaries for conflicts while standing up for their own needs at the same time, and they do so with absolute understanding of others. Number 10, future focused willpower is a very important aspect of this personality type. INFJs will often do whatever they can to move themselves closer to their personal goals. For example, if they are in a relationship that seems to be going nowhere, or they are employed somewhere they don't like or don't see a future in, they will break off the relations, or quit their jobs. Furthermore, INFJs are also very critical of past circumstances, and they tend to remember the bad experiences to avoid the negative feelings that often accompany these flashbacks. They typically prefer to live a life focused on the future. Thank you for staying with us until the end of the video. Support and subscribe to our channel, and more importantly,